Extended version.
Yes, sir. Barber College Success brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, JC. Craig's Crown Cutz of downtown Johnson City and Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol. Spreading love the JC way. No, rewind. Spreading love the Tri-City way is one way, but spreading love the Crown Cutz way is the only way. Today we're gonna have a special episode because we're gonna interview our boy Jay Bird. But let me let my co-host introduce himself. But look out for our fresh new logo that we just came out with Barber College Success. We're gonna push it, like, subscribe, share it, let somebody know.
Get it tatted.
Get it tatted. If somebody get it tatted, they come on the show.
They're on the show.
Yeah, but introduce yourself, my co-host.
Ammi Fields, Ammi, your barber. Marion, Virginia.
Yes,
back
sir.
at it again. Excited about this episode. Probably the most excited I've ever been about an episode. Yes, let's talk about it.
Jordan Barr, Jay Barber from on Instagram from Bristol, Tennessee. Good to be on here. About to have a little exclusive Jay Barr interview. Jay Barr.
Today we've been doing student stories, barber stories, and a lot of people, Jordan don't say much. So today we're going to do exclusively Jordan. We're going to talk about Jordan, and he's going to tell us his story.
He's on the spot.
I mean,
Yeah.
Might get a hot 97 freestyle out of him.
yes.
Nah, it ain't gonna be nothing too good. I'm just gonna let y'all digest into my life.
No doubt how you started, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Feed Spot again for Top 25 Podcast. What do you think about that, Ammi?
I think that we're higher now. I think we're moving on up.
Yeah.
I think we're in the top 10 easy.
It's top 10, easy.
Top 5.
Subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell somebody to school. Check us out. Follow us on Instagram. Keep sending the questions. Keep sending the highlights. I mean, we love the questions. We love the feedback because it keeps us going.
We need to just like send stuff to schools. Like send an episode. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Like send an episode to schools on Instagram just to let them, maybe they can use it for their classroom.
You know what?
That'd be kind of dope, actually.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. I mean, we'll choose. We'll get everybody about 10 schools and just send to a school.
Let's do it.
And also Taylor Jade, I spoke to her about coming on and being like one of our co-hosts when she gets time. And I think that's going to be good because we're getting somebody from the West Coast. I mean, one of the best coasts. That's a little freestyle. You didn't get it?
I mean, yeah. But I'm from the East Coast, so I can't agree with it.
I know.
They over there from flatlands and sea. We over here with mountains and grass.
They got mountains in the West Coast.
A little bit.
They got a lot of mountains.
They deep out there in the mountains. That's why it's called. You got the Rocky Mountains. They got all the Salt Mountains. They got all these mountains out there. Hey, I encourage everybody to travel and visit and just live, because when you stay dormant, you miss out on this wonderful planet, this wonderful country that we have.
Yeah, just seeing America. America's so big. I mean,
What?
you think about Europe, like for us to go to another state in America, in Europe is like going to a whole different country. So
Right.
it's like, it's just huge. At least travel America.
Yep. Taylor J, we coming at you. We're going to get you on this thing here pretty soon, man. You're going to be our West Coast co-host. How about that?
West Coast co-host.
That flow.
But today we're going to talk about Mr. Jay Barr. We're going to interview Mr. J.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about his story, how he started, and how did he even get into this industry?
So,
Where you from, Jordan?
okay, I grew up in Bristol, Tennessee. A small town. Probably not a lot of people know where Bristol, Tennessee is, except for the racetrack.
Yeah, but most people know about Bristol, baby. That's one of the
Yeah,
biggest.
that's Bristol, baby. I mean, that's where we're from.
20,000, 130, 180,000, right?
I think it's something like that.
180,000 fans in the car race.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch it.
I know that not everybody go there anymore. Not as much as they used to back in like the 80s and
When
90s.
Tennessee played Virginia,
It was stacked.
ooh,
Yeah, it was crazy.
The funny thing is, the following week, ETSU played Summit. I went to the ETSU game, and that was dope too.
They played it at the track?
Yes, that was
sounds
dope
dope.
too.
See, I think they should put more games, college games in there. I think they'll bring a lot more.
I think it should be a bowl game. You know, I think 180,000 people. That's dope on the track. I mean, that'd be big.
What would it call it? It'd be like the Food City Bowl or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I would go.
Crown Cutz Bowl.
I'd go.
Yeah, I mean, the Crown Cutz Bowl.
Crown Cutz Bowl.
Yeah, we get big enough. We
Hey,
can do
that's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, that would be wild.
That would be wild. We was actually supposed to play there when I was in high school.
For real?
football. Yeah, for Virginia Howard versus Tennessee out of the 100th game, and it ended up getting canceled.
So
Y'all were no good.
That's a good. Am I just shot him in both ankles?
I know. But, see, you think he nice, man?
Oh man,
That's 15 years ago. I ain't no good.
shot him in both ankles. Ooh, well, that's segue. So you grew up playing football. You was a football player. So talk about yourself.
So, you know.
I'm sorry.
I think he's sorry. Back in football days, but it ain't. He don't know. He don't know. Everybody talking
like
before
that.
you know. Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying. But I grew up playing football. I started when I was 5 years old. Football has always been my natural sport. But you know, I got to the point I played almost every position. You know, on the line, offensive line, and I got to high school and I being running back my junior and senior year, and
That's crazy to me to think about going from offensive line to running back. Like,
it's because I'm built like that.
not many people make that
built
transition.
different. I know
Not
you
many people
can't.
make that transition.
You can't.
Oh man, y'all throwing shots at each other. What's going on?
This is Jordan's episode.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna stop.
Let him live.
My bad.
Yeah, but
Jordan said, "You can't."
I didn't say nothing back. So.
it's all right. It's just because I'm built different.
Oh,
But
got it.
yeah, man. I saw. I mean, there's not too many people that go from the line. You know, offensive line. I always wondered about. Man, I wish I had the chance to run the ball.
Did you lose a lot of weight or something to get you to that point?
Actually, I kind of stayed the same as because I mean, when I was in like 5th grade, I was like 170.
Was that on the Virginia side or the Tennessee side?
What the
Your high school.
Tennessee side?
Okay, great.
Yeah. So as I got older, I kind of stayed in the one like anywhere between like 160, 170, and I got to my sophomore year, I was like, yeah, about like 170. Then I got to my junior year, I got up to like 190.
So is that when did we first meet? Was it your freshman or sophomore year?
Sophomore year.
Okay, so that's
Sophomore year, because my dad was always talking about, because Craig used to get on me, bro. I used to
know that long.
I've known Craig for what?
a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
And because my dad took me down there to get my haircut, because he used to take me to his barber, and his name was Aaron. Aaron was nice. He wasn't bad. But my dad was like, I'm sorry, it's time to take you to a black barber. I was like, all right. So I was like, there's Craig's Crown Cutz and JC. And he was like, oh, we go down there. How much is it for a cut? I was like, what was it, 25? 20? Something like that.
Yeah.
But I was like,
This is your dad's idea to take you down there?
it was mine, but he was okay with taking me down there because he didn't really know
Right.
like any other barbershops but Aaron, because he wanted to take me to Great Clips and all like that. So
What a dad.
yeah, I know he was cool.
That's cool.
I mean, I couldn't get nothing but a ball
Elaborate
fade,
on
but
that.
I mean, I was cool with a ball fade.
But why would he want you to go to a black barber?
I mean, it's just I feel like it was really because of me, because I feel like I wanted to go to a black barber because I feel like I was missing out on some things.
Culturally.
Yeah,
You're biracial,
and
right?
yeah. So I mean, Aaron was cool. I mean, I didn't have no problems with him. I just felt like every time I see my friends, they come in with a crispy hairline. I'm like, dang, man, where'd you go to? And he's like, I'll go to Craig, bro. And I was like, all right, but I'm going to go see Craig. So I told my dad, I was like, let's go see Craig. And he went and took it to JC. And I walked in, and it was like, Craig was sitting there, you know, cutting. Tall black dude. I was like, dang, he's big. I was like, God, he's big. I was like, that's crazy. Then, you know, I asked him I can't remember what I got. I think I got a mid fade. Pretty sure I got a mid fade. Either a mid fade or a high taper. And
Change your life.
crispy. Crispy. I was like, okay. All right, I'm cool. I went to school the next day feeling right. But my dad liked Craig. You know, he got talking in his home when I was playing football and stuff like this. And Craig told him that he used to play football in college and he had 1 year in the NFL and that sort of stuff. And I was like, and then Craig was like, I used to tell Craig that I want to be playing college and playing the NFL. And he was telling me, he's like, man, you got to sacrifice. You got to do some things. You got to stay on top of stuff. And yeah. And I didn't really take it to heart because I was so young. Because when you're young, you don't really care about that stuff.
You don't listen to nothing.
And I was like, so he was like, do you have like a nutritionist or anything like that? Because I wasn't jacked, but I was pretty big. But I was like, I wanted to get ripped. He was like, so he recommended me.
Eric, the trainer. So
yeah.
I you hooked up with the trainer.
Yeah.
He told me his goals and his dreams. Like, yo, I got you. But that's the importance of being a barber when you're listening and talking to your clients. You hear them out, you build that rapport, and you should be able to recommend or reference anything they need.
I kind of had a similar situation. It just in reference to that, I had this guy, and he's going to occupational therapy school, and he was pretty good at baseball. And he was like, "Man, I really want to play baseball again. I love baseball. I miss it." I was like, "You miss it?" Well, I also know this guy that runs a men's baseball league.
Right.
So I introduced him, and he got to try out for his team.
doubt.
But that, in my mind, that's kind of like a reference to what you were talking about.
When you're a barber, you listen to your clients. And one of the key things we're trained to do is listen to our clients. Listen first. So go ahead, Jordan. So he linked up with
Eric.
a nutritionist and a trainer.
Yeah, and a trainer. And so I went to Eric. I think he was charging like, it was expensive. It was like $200 a month. But my dad was paying it because he was,
He was investing.
he was investing in myself. But I took it for granted, and I didn't take it serious, and I didn't follow the diet plan and a whole bunch of other stuff because I just didn't think it was that much important. And then after the years went by, I was still in the weight room and also stuff. I was doing my thing, but I wasn't looking the way I wanted to look. But I was still like, as far as like the definition was, like, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being ripped and just big.
You trying to be cut up.
I was trying to be cut up.
Right.
Which I was cut up. I just didn't eat right. That's the only reason.
But it's an investment.
But after a while though, I didn't go back to Eric until like, what was that? Like 2019? 2019. I went back to Eric and I took it serious, and then Eric ended up passing away.
Yep.
Oh, he passed away.
Yeah, he unexpected. Like, it's crazy. I remember that day. And RIP to my boy Eric, man, he was a good dude. Good dude. But
you were in his program when he passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like, I went there the following week, and that was my day to come up. I usually went 4 days a week. And he had called me because I was talking about how I wanted to get a job. And his wife is a manager at Walmart.
Yep.
So he was about to hook me up with a job at Walmart. And he was like, "Yo, bro," he said, "I got you a job. My wife's going to hook you up." He said, "I'm in the hospital right now, but he said, I'll be all right, and I'll be out in like a couple of days or whatever." He said, "I got some things going on." I said, "All right, cool. I'll see you next week." Then I seen like a couple of days, I think it was like 2-3 days went by, and they said, I went on Facebook and they said he passed.
Man, that's a real dude. Dude left us in a hospital bed, still thinking about people, trying to.
When you invest and you build, that's why it's important to build relationships. One of our key things in this industry is build relationships. And once you build a relationship, there's not nothing someone won't do for you when you build that trust and that bond.
Yeah, but he was I don't even know do you know what he passed away about?
Yeah, it was that's another episode. He had some serious stuff. We'll talk about it after.
I was just saying, but yeah, after that, and then I ended up, I was working at Food City at the time. I was
Bagger?
Yeah.
I did that.
I was a bagger for 3 years, making $8.25. And then I moved up. They moved me up to a night stalker. So I was a night stalker for 2 years. And I was making like $10 an hour or something like that, which I should have been making more than that. But then I ended up living there and went to work in a factory. It's called Royal Moldings. And I worked there for like 7-8 months.
How was the factory life?
Horrible.
I did that too.
It was so horrible. Like, it was
Did you hate it for real, or was it just the people?
Both, because the job was horrible, and the people there, they were just lazy, and the people like, well, I would take a break. You get a break, and they're supposed to have a person that runs the machines, and they're supposed to help you like keep your junk in while you're on break. So I get like 30-minute break, come back, my junk's in the floor, junk's bending up, and the machine's broke, and I'm like,
wow.
Bro, what?
So how much time lapsed between the time when you got through with Eric and you started your career? I mean,
My barbering career?
No, just working.
Let's see, it's probably like,
So you have to kind of figure something out quick when he passed. You're like, man, I got to transition.
yeah, it's probably about like a year or two, probably about 2 years, because I didn't start doing barber school until 2020. Yeah, so that was about anywhere between
21. It's 21.
Was it 21? Yeah, that's right. It's 23. So yeah, you're right.
It must have been bad because I've never heard Jordan have a disdain for anything. He said like he did not like that place at all.
But the importance of finding your why, that's what we get into.
Yeah,
the importance of finding your why and finding your passion, it develops something in you that makes you happy.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and I used to dread going to work every day. I had to do 12-hour shifts, worked almost every day. I mean, I think it was like 5 and 7 off, something or 3 off, something like that. But it was just not.
I mean, but you had a job. You was doing something.
I mean, yeah, I was making good money.
Yeah.
But I didn't really care about the money. I was just like, I just wanted to. Like, I was really depressed for at least a year or two, and
you didn't know what
I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
Because I'm here, I'm like, bro, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I just don't.
So how did the barber thing come to you?
It's always been something that's in the back of my mind. Like, I used to always like, I would always suggest it to my dad. I was like, I think I want to go cut hair. And he was like, well, I mean, if you think that's what you're gonna do, you just gotta go do it. I said, well, I don't know yet. I don't know if I'd be good at it. He said, well, you're an artist. Like, if you're an artist, you like to draw and stuff like that. So I feel like you'd like that. And I was like, all right. So I was like, I talked to my brother about it because Orlando, he's been cutting since he was 18. I was his first haircutter. Like, I was the one that was getting his ear nicked and everything.
His first client.
He used to do stars on me I'll be walking to school looking crazy sometimes. But once he got nice, he was nice. I was walking in fresh all the time. But
he had them Patrick stars.
He's been cutting hair for 11 years, and I was like, bro, I think I'm gonna go cut hair. And he said, yeah, you say if you want me to watch me cut hair or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So I'll go with him. He'll go do house calls for like $10, $15.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Everybody,
10, 15. He was racking up.
People want him right now.
Yeah, I know. But that's why he don't do it no more, because he's just like, man, this junk. He's like, that's gas. That's it. That's gas. But I go and I take me a piece of paper and I'll ask some questions. I'll write down like what he did, what his face system was. Like, I don't know, it was just stuff that I didn't know that I felt like I need to know.
So you was gonna learn from him.
Yeah, I was trying my best to, but the way he faded was he actually has his own way of fading.
Right.
Like, you don't have the regular.
But it's good. Everybody will find their own fading technique eventually.
Yeah.
Everybody will find their own way of cutting. When you go to school, you just kind of get started off to get some confidence, to kind of have some type of blueprint. Because if you don't have a blueprint to give you some confidence, you will quit. It will not be fun for you. So instructors like myself and we have to make it simple for you to at least get some type of confidence.
Because he was telling me stuff, but I was in my mind, I didn't understand what he was saying. I was just writing it down. Yep. And I tried to translate it to other people, and I was like, man, this is not. I tried translating my little brother, and I still have the video, but you can see all the guidelines in his head.
I saw where you made a post of it.
Yeah,
I got mad at you.
Y'all tripping.
His face was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie to you. But my little brother, I wouldn't be nowhere as good as without him. He was like me with Orlando, as you know what I'm saying? He's like that with me.
But you get him good instructions.
Yeah. But he actually been thinking about becoming a barber too, so I don't know. We'll see.
How old is he?
Josh is 18. He just turned 18.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he got nice hair.
He does. He has really nice hair. That's my competition kid. But yeah, I did that, and then that 2021, I finally decided to go to Craig. I was like, Craig, man, I think I'm gonna go to school. Actually, Craig kind of asked me to come to school. He's like, bro, you should go be a barber.
Where was this? I don't remember the conversation. Where were we at?
I think you said that when I first met you.
For real?
Yeah.
I was like 15?
Yeah, like when I was like 16, 17.
Right.
He was like, bro, you should become a barber. I was like, man, what? I don't know. I was like, I'm just trying to play football, man. He was like, well, I mean, whatever. It goes down. But
Jordan had hoop dreams at the time.
I didn't care about nothing but football. That's all I knew how to do. But after a while, and I was like, I'm gonna call back Craig, because my dad had Craig's number, and I think him and my dad's called it a couple of times just on a regular conversation. He knew that's how I was doing and stuff like that, and he said, man, Jordan, did you ever think about coming to barber school yet? My dad was like, I don't know yet, we'll see. But I ended up taking that step, and I remember the first day we had not the first day.
But think about it. How do you remember coming up to the school to sign the application? What was that like?
Oh yeah, because I didn't think I was gonna be able to get in because then we had something go wrong. I can't remember what it was.
I think your FAFSA or something was waiting on you. Didn't sign the paperwork or something didn't go in on time, and it was almost to the point where you might not have got in on that time.
Yeah, and then I think you did something. I can't remember what happened, but he got me in there. He got me in there.
President, Craig Peter.
Yeah, he got me in there, and I was so happy. I was about to be really mad because I was like, man, I can't freaking when I want to do this, I can't even do it. I'm like, dang.
But imagine what you know now, you didn't know then. You'd probably even cry if you couldn't get in.
Yeah.
Because what you know now, where you are, the skill level you are right now is like, I mean, who would have known where you would be for someone who doesn't even was kind of like juggling up and down about coming to school?
Yeah, it's the nervousness was, I remember walking in and I could just feel like, oh no, I felt like I felt like pressure on me already. I wasn't even in school yet. And I was like, dang, man, I'm really about to do this. And I went in there, I met Dana and Miss Dale and all them. And Dana, of course, got me right, got everything signed. And I can't remember. I think it was April is when I started. It's either April or March. And I came in for...
Is that your phone going off?
Yeah.
Just hit something.
My little brother.
You got to bring him on the podcast.
My little brother?
Yeah.
Man, he going to be so quiet.
I mean, but that you was like that too, and that helped him. That helped you. You know what I mean? So if he's thinking about barbering, I mean, this might be the segue for him to get to that point because is he in high school?
Yeah, he's about to graduate.
What school does he go to?
Yeah.
See, was he up there when I came and did that?
Probably, maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure.
And he didn't introduce himself. He got to be real quiet because we had a career day up there like 2 weeks ago, and Colton cut hair, and we had like all the kids came through. I mean, like there's like 40 like tables, and we had the most popular table. We did like 12 haircuts that day.
Never mind.
Do it?
Nothing. I was talking about Jordan.
Oh.
You don't want to cut his legs off no more?
Nah, I'm gonna leave it alone. That was a good one. Go ahead.
So you come up there now, you say you're nervous and nervousness, anxiety. You remember the first day coming into school?
Yeah, like what's it called? The
orientation.
The orientation.
What do you remember about orientation?
I remember you coming in with these all Adidas outfit. Has some
like Run DMC.
I know he has some. What shoes did he have on? He had some Adidas on, but they were nice. I know. I was like
Stan Smith.
Yeah, and then he was talking. We had to get our papers and all sorts of stuff. And then Craig gave us, his little speech. That I remember him saying, this is always thing that the one thing they always stuck with me throughout the whole time in school. He was like, always make your first like your last and your last like your first.
Right.
And I always remember that the whole time I was in there. And the first day, the actual first day of school, it wasn't bad. I was nervous, but we didn't really have to do anything too crazy because I was like when you do like the hair shape, the shampooing and washing your client and all client orientation, consultation. But I mean, it's pretty chill the first couple weeks, and then I get to the roller sets and the perms and the sectioning. The sectioning of freaking the mannequins. Oh my gosh!
Back in the factory again.
God, bro, I ain't never done something so irritating in my life.
But think about how it prepared you for where you needed to be.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I'm a perfectionist, so I try to get everything as perfect as I could. And Miss Dell come over there and just do it perfect. And I'm like, okay, I can do it too. And then I just like, bro, I can't get the part clean. I just can't get it clean. I'm like, I don't know how she can do it. And
Most people can. I mean, but she has 35 years of experience.
I know, but it's like I'm watching her do it. I'm like, there's no way I can't replicate this. But like you said, it's like everybody always thinks you could do something easy until you do it.
Right.
But it took me a little bit, and I just failure after failure on certain things. I wouldn't say failure, but just keep on doing it over and over again. I did a lot of perms.
How confusing was it to you when you started, when you got into school, like the first couple of weeks? How confusing was it?
Sometimes I felt like I was overloaded, like mentally, because I was thinking too hard on certain things, like when I would come out the hair. And I was like, bro, I can't come out this mannequin because it's all knotted up.
Right.
And then Miss Dell had to show us how to like wash his hair first, and then going through and combing it and sectioning, conditioner, and all that stuff like that.
What does conditioner do for the hair?
Conditioner, it relaxes it, makes it less. You actually use conditioner in my water, like my water bottle,
right?
Because it makes it easier to part, and it also keeps it hydrated. That's
the tip. That's the tip right there. Earn the crown. Yeah, Crown Cutz tip.
Yeah, just get you a little bit of conditioner in your water bottle. You don't need a lot, maybe like 3 or 4 drops. Just shake it up.
Conditioner.
Yeah, that matter. I use it's the one that school uses. I can't remember the name of it though.
I know that name. I can't think of it either.
Yeah, I got
Matrix.
It's not Matrix.
We'll get it back.
But yeah, putting some conditioner and some water actually helps with your parting. Makes it a lot cleaner, makes it a lot easier. And when you blow dry the hair, it actually makes it look a lot healthier.
But on the mannequin, it's a little difficult. Once you master the mannequin, you get to like the real scalp.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
A lot easier.
But But it's good to start off in America because you don't want to be too hard, too aggressive on somebody's head. You know what I mean? You want to be able to be so you learn, the mannequin teaches you patience. Because if you see how people like be grabbing mannequins and be dropping them, if you start off with somebody and how you treat a mannequin, you treat them, they might never come back.
You slap them around. Some people jerk the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, Steve.
I was one of them, yeah.
So listen to Jordan, Ammi. What goes through your mind listening to Jordan? Telling his story.
I don't know. I have a lot of similarities, I guess, in Jordan. We did a lot of similar jobs, but also at the same time is like one thing that impressed me about Jordan early on is like Jordan actually listened to what you said. Like, you know, you could say something to some people and they act like they'll look in your eyes and they'll nod their head and they ain't heard nothing.
From an instructor perspective.
Yeah, exactly. They look you right in your eyes and be like, yeah, I got it. But you sure you understand this? Yeah, I got it. No, Jordan wouldn't say nothing. Jordan would look at you and then you could just see him just like, hey, like his secretary in his brain is writing this down and like filing. Like he actually understood and processed what you said. Like he took time to understand it. And that's what separated Jordan from his peers, because his peers were like, yeah, I got it. Okay, yeah, okay. And Jordan's like, why? You know, he'll ask you another question and another question, and then he'll say, I got it. And then you know Jordan really has it. You know, it wasn't like you had to keep going back and forth with him. When he had it, he had it.
That's what's up.
And then he would reach out. He would go above and beyond to figure it out.
So what that says to me, and our listeners need to really think about this, you have to be coachable.
Yes.
That's where football came from.
Yeah.
That's what taught me.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. That's what helped me.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, football has helped me so much in being a team player, knowing how to understand people, knowing how to play my part, and always give my best. And understand when I give my best, if somebody else didn't do their part, I'm not going to be stressed because I know I did my part. I did my best at all times. Yeah.
That's why I feel like everybody has their own little, you know, detours or like certain things in their life that's going to help them later on.
For sure.
At the time, during that time, you're not really going to understand it until later on.
And it will get, and students out there, it will get confusing, but that doesn't mean you're not going to be able to learn it. Just understand it's a process.
It's overwhelming too.
It is.
And I still sometimes, there's areas of hair that I'm overwhelmed with.
But it's okay. It's okay.
I'll figure it out.
It's okay. You only have 15 months. And in the 15 months, you're not going to be your best version of yourself. So stop making it uncomfortable for other people and yourself and instructors. Because your attitude, depending on your attitude, it will be how receptive you will be to learning. Because if your attitude is bad, you're not going to take it in. If your attitude is good, you'll be receptive and you're going to take it in and you understand, maybe after a couple of times I will get it better. But if your attitude is bad, I'm not learning. And then you start being a thorn in everybody's side in the building, and now you upset and everybody's wondering, what's going on? Are you blaming the instructor? You blaming this person? You blaming that person? You blaming the weather? But you're really not blaming yourself and looking in the mirror of why your attitudes is terrible.
And I feel like we see that a lot in the school.
Yeah.
And instruction, unfortunately.
There was a lot when there was a lot of that when I was in school.
It is just part of the school process.
That's part of, but people don't understand. It's okay. That doesn't mean because you're not learning it right now or someone else is learning, picking it up quicker than you, that you're going to fall behind and you're not going to catch up. You have to put in the work.
You just gotta dump everything. You gotta, and just how did you sort through it, all the overwhelming information? What were you telling yourself, Jordan, to get through that?
I would tell myself that it's all going to come. It's going to take time. I mean, when I would do something, I'm like, all right, what can I take from this time that I can do different the next time? And I would just try to eliminate every single time. So I'll take one bit and I'll learn it. Then once I learn that, I'll go to the next piece and just learn, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of.
I mean, we talking about a career that if you really boss out, you up there $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 come out of school. Mm-hmm. You can. Easily. So, and I keep going back to this. Like I said, I saw this, I watched Netflix in my spare time, and I watched this guy, and he said to be a pediatric nurse, it takes him 9 or 10 years. Imagine in year 3 that he gets frustrated, like, I'm not learning this. I quit.
Still got 7 years left.
You still got 7, and you know what I'm saying? That fortitude of just understanding, man. Yes. 9 to 10 years of something you have to learn before you can even get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in a sense, sometimes I understand 1,500 hours is a long time, but it's really a short time.
It goes by fast, and it's funny because where I opened a shop, I had to take like 3 months off. I mean, not long, maybe 2.5 months off, and I come back to school, and there's just so many new faces I don't even know.
Right.
Because people are just going through the program, and the senior students are there, and before you know it, the new students become the senior students, and you just blink.
Right.
It's crazy.
It happens so quick, and so I say that to say this: trust the process. Stop getting frustrated. The instructors and people around you are there to help you. They're not there. Nobody wants to hurt you. No. Nobody wants to impede you. At least I don't think so. If you have a school and you're impeding students, you're in the wrong profession. Most people who teaching, I don't think they get their just due. Because when students come and disrespect, when somebody's teaching a skill or teaching a lesson, you don't understand how difficult that makes to teach everybody else.
It's hard to focus.
It's hard to focus, and your attitude dictates all of that.
Yeah. And the disruptive people, I mean, they're robbing everybody of just time and effort and learning that they could have. And I've been in classrooms where I've seen people, every time you say something, they got a cute comment that has nothing to do with anything.
Why are you even there?
Just to get a laugh, just because but it's funny because that person, the one person I'm thinking of, wasn't as invested as everybody else was there.
Right.
Their school was paid for or whatever. They had to worry about it. But they were the most disruptive person.
Right.
But was there a moment for you, Jordan, where everything just like clicked? Like, were you like, I got this? Was it in school or was it outside of school?
Outside of school. I guess you could say kind of near the end, but
We'll talk about before getting on the floor.
before getting on the floor.
How nervous you was. Jordan didn't want to touch Clippers.
I remember because everybody always talks about when I get my kit, I'm about to go crazy.
About to wild out.
Yeah, I'm about to go crazy. He was like, I got the Clippers. I was like,
The dude is crazy.
I was like, oh no. And then I was like, Craig was like, you ready? I was like, nah, I'm not ready, bro. He was like, you cutting today? I was like, oh. I was like, today. He said, yeah, today. I was like, all right, I got it.
Now, I remember that look in your eyes when I said that too. Both you and Kobe was right there.
Kobe was
terrified. I'm like, yo, y'all cutting today, man. What y'all here for?
I'm like, Kobe cut like 5 days after you did your first haircut.
Now we cut the same day.
I was the same day?
But I did 4 fades that my first day.
I'm like, well, why not? What you here for? I mean, I didn't want to be so abrasive, but I'm like, if you kind of push somebody into the water timid, they're gonna be timid going in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's do this. We on. The lights is on.
You try to get them hype. It's like you get them.
Yeah,
you ready? Yeah, all right.
ready.
Hit the smelling salts.
Gosh.
So you remember that first haircut?
Yeah, I remember the first haircut.
What was it like?
Haircut took me 3 hours. It was, dude was falling asleep in the chair. He was not happy. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I was like, bro, I'm sorry I'm taking so long. He was like, it's all good, bro. And he's like, nodding out. I was like, gosh, man. I mean, for my first fade, though, it wasn't bad at all. Like, I actually did pretty good. Like, compared to what I thought I was going to do, I actually did pretty good.
Did you take a picture of it?
Yeah, I got it on my phone.
We need to post that on Barber College's website.
Yeah, we need to.
And I remember asking Darren. Darren was there at the time. He was a senior student. And Darren was like right beside me. And I was like, every 5 minutes, I'm like, Darren, come here. Darren, come here. I'm like, bro, what you do right here, bro? And he was like, man, he's got to do it, man. I'm like, yeah, I know, but can you just help me just get this over so I can move on to the next step? He was like, yeah. So he helped me out a little bit. And after that, like the second and third person, he didn't help me at all.
Right.
Because he had somebody else to do. But I understood that. I try to every now and then I'll be like, hey, you think this looks good? Like from over there. And he's like, yeah, it looks all right.
We got to get Darren on the podcast too, man.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a minute.
That should be a good idea. Yeah, I'm about to get there. I talk to him sometimes. So
yeah, hit him up. Tell him to come through, man. Tell him to come through. We'll talk about it.
But after that, that day was very stressful, very very stressful.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Look where you are right now. You even teaching your brother. Your brother's learning from you now.
I hope. He'll come to the shop and just stand there, but he be able to come in and ask me for some money. He's like, man.
Put him out there like that.
I'm sorry, but well, yeah.
The world's listening, man.
I know my little brothers. I love him to death.
You remember he's coming. You used to go on his house calls when he's getting $15, $10, $15.
No, I'm talking about Josh.
Oh.
No, not Orlando. My little brother.
The last time I went to the school, I was asking students if they had jobs lined up, and Hannah said, "I'm working with Jordan." I said, "Well, you going to handcraft questions?" She's like, "I don't. Wherever Jordan's at, that's where I'm going."
I'm glad that she does. She comes there. She's like, I hope that he gets more chairs. I was like, he's getting 2 more chairs. So Jonathan's, I'm pretty sure he's expanding the shop, knocking down the walls and stuff. The little wall that we have in there, he's gonna knock that down and add 2 chairs in there. But I love that work with Hannah. I think that'd be dope.
Hannah
and Bristol.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know who's underrated though? Brandon is underrated.
Brandon's dope. Yeah.
Brandon, those
Skylar's
people be. Yeah, we got some dope barbers up there. Yeah, Skylar's dope too. Skylar cut me up 2 weeks ago.
Skylar just don't be putting himself out there as much as everybody else.
He's a little. Most barbers come to the game are introverts.
I think so.
Yeah, and as you build your self-esteem up, build yourself up, understanding that the only way to go out there and make some money, you can't just be quiet because.
I'm gonna make. You can print off them tests, them introvert tests, and introvert, extrovert, and you could just do them. I might next time I go to school make them take them and see what
see who's an introvert.
Yeah,
I think majority of people are.
I keep telling them, Jordan, that you coming.
Oh yeah,
I keep telling them every week. I was like, Jordan said you coming, so I don't know what you're doing, Jordan.
You can pop in on Wednesday at work.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking about coming on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
but you should do it.
Tuesday you there?
Thinking about doing
Wednesday,
it?
I'll be at Thursday.
Like Tuesday afternoons after I leave the shop around like 6. Did they have afternoons Tuesdays?
Jordan, how many times we've said this to you?
I forgot, man.
Every week I got like Jordan's coming. Like for real, everybody gets so hyped. Like for real, yeah. You don't understand how from where you were to where you are right now.
You're a celebrity.
Some people are looking up to you. People are looking up to you because they see where your skills have developed, and over time, I was just like one of the top barbers in East Tennessee, and that's just being real.
The world, not the world.
The world, Craig.
But I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna come through.
I mean,
I got you.
Your feet's on the fire. People on the podcast, hey, you say you're gonna go to the school and give back.
He was on time today though for podcast.
Yeah,
he did do that. He did make an effort.
I did. I got here on at like 1:45. Craig saw me. He was like,
like, man, I'm like, what?
he was like, dang, really?
I was surprised. Well, he probably came because Devon told him he was coming. So he's like,
No,
I can't let Devon.
I gotta be here for Devon.
So now you started cutting. Talk about the process during school. What you like, what you didn't like, and then we're gonna talk about you getting into the shop.
What I like and I didn't like.
Start with what you didn't like.
I didn't like perms. Perms I did a lot of those. I got good at them, but I didn't like them. Color, I wish I would have took that more serious because I only did like maybe 4 or 5 colors. Maybe, I mean, I did a lot of color retouches, but not actual color like all over.
So the importance of all those skills that's there before you,
like
taking advantage of it.
If you really actually care about this industry or you're like just haircutting in general, after a while you're going to get good at fading. Because you go like focus on just fading, and then once you get out, you're like, dang.
Fading is an easy skill to do.
I know, and I was like, dang. Now I'm over here regretting it, but I mean, it gives me something, just to take one step at a time all over again. It kind of gives me something. It just keeps me motivated, keeps me going,
keeps you fresh.
Yeah,
keep you interested in continue your education.
Yeah, but I mean, really anything else though. I mean, I really liked. I enjoy school. I loved being there. Like there was never a time I was like, man, I don't want to be here.
Right.
So, I mean, I was just like...
You made it fun for yourself.
Yeah. So, that's the reason why I feel like I accelerated as much. Because I really enjoyed it that much.
And never turned down no haircuts, had a good attitude.
Yeah, they used to hate me there, bro. I swear. I used to be there till 9 o'clock from 8:30, from 8:30 to 9 o'clock at night. Just cutting the whole time. And I just be in there. I just be chilling and watching videos and watching other people cut or help other people. They'll come up to ask me questions and I'll try to help them out.
How did you build your clientele in school? Because I think that's important for a lot of barbers out there. One of the key questions is, how do I build my clientele?
And he got to the point to where you were in there cutting till 9, but you were booked till 9. Like it wasn't like people were just walking in. Like you were consistently people on your books the whole
But
week.
that's for everybody. Everybody can do the same thing. They found the blueprint.
Everybody was like, bro, Jordan, you got it like that just because you're from here. And I'm like, no, that's not the truth. Like, what, you're from here too? I'm like, y'all from this area,
Right.
Like, it's not just me. Like, y'all went to a school with people. Y'all have friends. Y'all have jobs. You know. But at first I had to use my Snapchat. I use Snapchat and post my work on my Snapchat. Had a lot of people on Snapchat, so I always do that. And then I worked at Zaxby's at the time when I was in school, so I made it a goal to cut everybody in Zaxby's before I graduated. So now I cut even the women, the girls too.
So you was building relationships.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell students sometimes. You go to a drive-thru, get some lunch or something, and students underestimate when they go out to lunch how they can build clientele.
I mean, it's as simple as asking, like, hey, who cut your hair, bro? Nobody. If they say Great Clips, so what? Great Clips or...
Don't do that. We had Faye on here.
I'm sorry.
Shout out to Faye.
I'm sorry. But
Simple as
I know what you mean, though.
I see that you take care of your hair.
yeah, she let me cut your hair. Nobody, about just one time. Just let me cut your hair one time.
Just saying, hey, I'm a barber, make people want you to cut their hair.
Yeah.
Like, where you cut at? Like,
I walked in with that badge on and the t-shirt, and I was like, "Oh, you cut hair?" And I was like, "Yep." It's like, "Where you cut at?" Up here across the street. And I was like, "All right, bet." I give them my Snapchat. That's why I just give everybody my Snapchat. I feel like it's easier for me, and they'll hit me up, and I put them down on the book on the school, and then they come through and get a cut, and there's a client right there. So,
And you just got to build, and not being able to. I think a lot of students sometimes they think that in their mind that their skills are not up to par, so they don't want to build clientele. They want to wait till they get out of school to build, which is wrong.
or post.
I mean, yeah, I understand where that can come from because I was the same way too. Because my friends, I was like, I ain't gonna cut y'all until I get nice. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I was like, let me cut your hair one time. And after that, there's just if they're really your friends, they're gonna support you for real. I mean, it's preach.
And plus, you're not going to be your best version of yourself in school.
Yeah.
And then you're giving someone an opportunity to get a discount haircut, which most people would want anyway. And you give somebody the opportunity to cut your hair 3 or 4 times. That 3 or 4 times, the 5th time, they're going to get good. And that 3 or 4 times, you'd only equivalent pay for one haircut at a professional barber. So 3 or 4 times, you're going to have to give somebody the practice to get you right. Sometimes you might strike out and get you might get it right the first time.
It might be just some really nice hair that
You know what I mean?
Sometimes they ain't even the barber; it's the hair.
Right.
Yep.
For real, because there's a lot of people that come in and they're like, their hair is just perfect. You cut it, it fades perfect. It's just it just does everything for
just
you.
melts.
Yeah, so you just
Shout out to Devon.
Everything melted.
everything melted.
Carver clips.
But
Everything melted.
what was I gonna say? Dang, I don't know.
All the sauce.
Now you said sometimes it's just the hair.
Yeah,
It's easy.
There was something before that I was gonna say. I don't know. I lost track of mine. Dang. But yeah. Oh yeah. Usually when I would go and talk to somebody that was new or that was like having a really hard time getting them in to come let me cut their hair, I'd be like, if you come, I pay for your haircut.
Right.
If they don't come at that point, I mean,
You
they ain't gonna come.
but then you build a clientele because you pay for it once, they're gonna pay for it for a lifetime.
Yeah.
People underestimate the free haircut. Like
People underestimate giving something for free.
Yeah.
I mean, I know like when we started in the school in Johnson City, we have the community day where we give free haircuts the first Thursday and the last Thursday of the month. And that has helped us a lot because it gives students a lot of reps. And then we go to the jail and do haircuts where the students get about 6, 7, 8 haircuts each. Like we go 5 barbers. And now that has turned into something where the jail is like, hey, you know what? Can you come in and teach a class and build a rotation with the inmates, and we'll come up with some funds to pay you. So people underestimate giving something for free sometimes because it comes back. You're not looking for it to come back, but it comes back. It's a plus.
Because I mean, it kind of gives them that
Incentive.
yeah, and it tells them that you're confident.
Right.
Like you're confident in yourself. and you're confident that you know what you're doing, and you feel like you're confident you can cut their hair.
And that's marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to market yourself, and you can look at that as your marketing budget, because most schools haircuts are between like $5 to $8 to $10.
They ain't trying to hear that. Did a budget? Tell them about the budgets, Craig. Tell them about the marketing budget. That's next level.
I mean, you got to have a marketing budget for yourself, for the school, for everything. Everything evolves around. If you want to grow, you got to market.
Your market's budget is usually one of your largest budgets, right?
Yeah, you can't be afraid to spend some money, and that's a great tip again there too. That's another earn the crown tip. You budgeting for yourself. You paying. You tell someone, I'll pay for your haircut. Especially if you go to school, maybe the haircut's at $3 or even $5. You get like 3 clients and be like, I got you $15, because when you get out of school, your haircuts is gonna be $30, $35, and you. I mean 20. Say minimum 20. Just to be fair, it'll be in 15. They will have paid you back in the first 2 times that they got a haircut easily. If it's $5 to $8 a cut.
Because I mean,
and then you have them as a client.
I would, like, most of the time I would try to, like, what am I trying to say? I'll be losing my track of mind when I'll be watching Craig talk.
Take your time. Take your time.
Retention.
Like when and then once they come back every time, like when I did that, they would come back and they would pay the $8 and also give me a $20 tip.
You see what I'm saying?
So I was making anywhere from 20 to 25 in school, like from cutting hair. But a lot of people say I don't want to bring the people to school because I want the school to get the money.
And the thought process is wrong because you're struggling trying to learn out there and you're not doing it right and you're delaying your process. I'm not
getting reps in.
Yeah, go ahead. If you want that way, cool. But understand you're in school. You know what I mean? That's where the instructors are in a brick and mortar to help you.
How much you tell them their haircuts were when you
$8.
started popping? No, I'm talking about like when you started popping. Did you have like a negotiation? Was it like you pay school $8, you give me this?
I said no. I just said you pay whatever you feel like I deserve.
Right.
That's
So
what I was
what's the most tips you made at the school in one day?
I think $200.
Man,
You see what I'm saying? Look at that. Just from being loyal and just being the attitude that you have, how you pushed out, what you persuade. And people's like, you know what? He's learning. He got a good attitude. I'm going to show him some love because he's trained. Most people want to show you some love when you learn.
Especially if they know that you're actually involved in it and trying. Yeah, people love seeing. A lot of people like seeing people fail, but a lot of people like seeing people succeed more.
When you have that attitude as a barber, I think it kind of cripples your mind from growing. It cripples your growth. Because even last week, I was speaking to a student, and he said to me, I was like, hey, what you gonna do when you get out? What are you thinking? I was like, man, I'm gonna open my shop, man. I was like, have you thought about working in the shop first just to see how it goes? He's like, man, I'm not trying to make the owner rich. I'm like, think about that process. Change that thought process. Because you want to have barbers one day, right? He's like, yeah. So don't you want barbers coming in with a different mindset than that? But think about, are you paying, when you pay your booth rent or even this commission, are you paying taxes at the end of the year? Are you paying insurance at the end of the month? Are you paying utilities? Are you paying
your lease?
The person
that owns the building, you gonna say I'm making them rich?
You know what I mean? So the booth rent covers all of that. And people don't think about that. You know what I mean? They don't.
And that's, and I learned that now that I've opened a shop. Like, before you think about opening a shop, you counting the booth rent. You like, shoot, I'm paying this dude $600 a month already. That's rent. But you're not talking about all the stuff you got to pay on top of that. Right. Furnishing a shop, marketing, all that stuff.
And marketing budget.
Yeah, marketing budget. I mean, just to get a decal on the windows. Yeah. $400, like,
and so that's the thought process that most students don't think about. I'm make them like, man, I'm gonna cut at the house because I'm not giving them money for this haircut. But then you're delaying your process and you're delaying a professional from helping you learn how to do the skill better. You're delaying a professional from teaching you what they in the school for.
And Jordan did it the right way. He's making $200 a day.
Right.
That's $25 an hour in school. And you in school, so you double timing. You in school and making money.
I think it's just because a lot of people focused more on the money.
Attitude. The attitude.
Yeah,
The money.
The money, like, cause they're like, man, I'm trying to make some money, but you're in school.
And,
You're supposed to be learning.
Yeah.
I mean, the money, the money will come. I mean, it's just part of tip. But I mean, if you just think about the money the whole time, then you're just gonna be stuck on the money.
And those are the people that have jobs outside of school that they might make more money at being at. So they start missing school to go to work, and it's like, oh, I got to make money.
But you can't knock that. You know, said people got to work.
Yeah, people
And
gotta
I
work.
do respect that, but if barbering is what you want, you have to be in school.
You gotta invest.
So you know you can't just be I can't make no money here. You have to be in school to invest to get to that next level, or you can keep doing the same thing, and that's fine too. But
And it's delaying your process even longer.
That's why I feel like everything that happened in my life right now is just perfectly set up, because I had a car, an Acura TSX, before I started school. I ended up wrecking it because I fell asleep, and I was paying $600 a month for that car, and I was going to have to pay for school because I had to take out a loan, and that would have been hard for me to do, very hard, because I was only making like $500 a check anyways. So that happened, and now I got my Honda, and now I'm only paying 160 a month.
Right.
And I was doing school, so I helped out tremendously. So then I had a friend that was a manager at Zaxby's, and he got me a job that makes me, I can work whenever I want, come in whenever I want, leave whenever I want, and like every time I told them I was about to be late, they're like, that's cool, because I'm in school.
But that's from building a great relationship.
Yeah.
Because two things we talked about on this podcast earlier. We talked about having a great attitude and building relationships. When you build relationships, you have a good attitude, things are a little bit easier for you. If you have a bad attitude and you're not fostering great relationships, it's going to be a little bit rocky for you.
and those people feel like the world's against them. Yeah, the world is against you because you're not putting positive energy into the world.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got to the point where I was cutting his hair, and then that's my dude, Jesse, good old Jesse. But
You know what I'm saying? And you probably endeared to him. You always will show Jesse love.
yeah, that's my dude, man. He's always been there. He trusted me when I was in school, and I had to ask him a couple of times for me to cut his hair because he was going to Kingsport. And I was like, bro, let me cut your hair like one time. He's like, man, I ain't trying to get messed up, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, in a respectful way. He was, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. I mean, it's a little typical when somebody comes here for the first time, but
He was like, man, if you mess me up, he said, I'm telling you, he said, I ain't coming back. And I was like, I got you. I promise you, you're going to come back. So I cut him, and then, he's still my client to this day. So, but,
iron sharpens iron.
yeah. I mean, I cut 2 girls from there. I do women's hair sometimes. Like,
So
I try to mix it.
build your clients from people around you. Build your clients from your family members. Build your clients from your support system. Build your clients from like your church,
Your gym.
your gym. You know what I mean? Go up on people and talk to them, let them know what you do. Tell and be confident. You know what I mean? And a lot of students sometimes they don't want to wear the name tag of the school when they're out of the school. That is the biggest conversational piece ever.
People. I've had people talk to read it, and I didn't even know they read it, and they were like, "So you work at the school?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I work at the school." Like, I didn't even realize they read the
It's a
thing.
conversational piece.
Yeah.
Any type of insignia that the school give you to wear it out. That will help you build clientele like that. That's the easiest way if you're an introvert. Because people will come up to you and ask you, oh, you go to a barber school? You go to a cosmetology school? Oh, yeah. And then you start talking, tell them your piece because it's an interesting thing.
We got to get hats. We got to get Barber College hats.
Yeah.
Barber College. Oh, you got to get trucker hats.
That's
Can't just be
what we
the
get. We might have to get you involved.
trucker hats.
Because you the designer clothes
For sure. Trucker hat, Barber College Success.
We're gonna boss it out.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'd rock it.
We have some merch going on here soon.
Better rock it.
I'd rock it. I'd rock it. I'd rock it. I mean,
It's episode about you.
So that was a journey, man. You know what I'm saying? Just from playing football, moving from offensive line to defensive line, running back, my bad, and then working in the factory, and then just indecisiveness and just being frustrated with what you do, and now to the point where you understand your why and found your career, and you absolutely love what you do. Talk about that.
it's the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I used to pray about it a lot years ago, and I'm glad that I didn't give up on myself. I'm glad my family didn't give up on me, and I'm glad I'm surrounding myself with people that help me and to grow every day. And I mean, it's a blessing for sure.
That's big.
God did.
God did.
No doubt.
He did for sure.
Yeah.
But
What's the next step? What's the next step?
Yeah, what are your future plans, man?
my future plans.
Yeah.
Really, I don't really have any limitations, so I haven't really. I've thought about it, but I haven't really thought about it.
Well, the first step, you got to go to school and start helping out. That's the
Yeah, that's why I'm taking that
Yeah.
one step at a time. I'm just taking it as God, like what comes to me.
He already gave you the bowl. This is the cherry. Everything else is just cherry, right?
Yeah, I'm just
Whipped cream and cherry.
whatever comes next, whatever He wants me to do, is what I'm doing.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel like that's the only way, because I feel like if you start pushing towards something that you want, you're gonna get everything too fast, and then it's gonna be like you're gonna look back and you're like, dang, what am I supposed to do now?
Well, it's your journey, and I just kid you at times when I say go to the school and help out, and I just kid you. I'm not trying to think that's your destiny. You have to go there, but I know how that could help you develop.
Yeah,
And how it can help you grow, and how what was bestowed upon you will bestow upon someone else just by your presence. Because a lot of people look up to you and say, like, man, this dude is a boss in cutting. And you don't even realize that. You know what I mean? So just your presence can encourage people to be their best. Just your presence can encourage people to be like, when they're going through that, man, I don't know, I'm frustrated. They hear your story, they listen to this podcast and hear your story like, man, this dude, he worked for it. It wasn't just given to him.
I mean, I feel like if you don't work for it, man, it's boring.
I mean, but a lot of people want that.
Yeah, they want everything given
They
to
think
them.
they want that.
They think they do.
You're right. They think they do.
Everybody thinks they. I think most people. I think 99% of people think that the way, and like it's easy to get discouraged. Like you think about, oh, I want this now. I want this now. But if you listen to everybody's stories, it's all the stuff that happened that we didn't anticipate.
Right.
It's what makes it worthwhile. It's what makes it the fact that Jordan was working in the factory and hated. And if you didn't go through that process, you wouldn't know what it was like to have something you love now.
Right.
You know, or you getting your tools stolen. You wouldn't appreciate the clippers that you have now. So it's like everything happens for a reason.
There's a lot of stuff
And
that
the
happened
thing
in
is too,
between. I
right?
still didn't even
The
know.
attitude that you have through life, the attitude that you have every step of the way, is how you will be treated when you're in a position to be a boss or work for someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's important to have a great attitude, man. And you have a great attitude, Jordan.
I appreciate it. I try to be. I always try to. I always try to be positive and, giving somebody knowledge about something, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I was at that point where I didn't know, like, what I wanted to do or if I was going to be happy with what I was doing.
It sounds like you need to take another step. It sounds like you need to just
It's coming.
go
Slowly.
It
with
is.
something.
It's coming. I know it's coming. It is coming. Everything's coming slowly. Like sometimes I just feel like I'll get home after the shop and I'm like, man, what could I do today to make me better?
Go to school.
You're right. You're right.
For me personally, it's like once I get comfortable
Right.
and I start chilling, I'm like,
It's stagnant.
level up. It's time to level up.
Yeah,
Like,
but what do you like? What should I do to level up?
You got an opportunity right here. But
I know.
But you don't know. But that's so. But like, and like, I did it for myself. That's help. You don't realize how much that's helped me. Like, think about this. Like, for me to go there, number one, it taught me some structure because I went to the barber game. A lot of barbers don't have structure. They just treat it like whatever because they're like, oh, this is me. I got this. Being around other barbers and being professional is something that you need.
It sets you apart.
Number two, I got to learn how to be a better teacher because if you want to move on into this industry, education is an important part of it. So you learn how to teach people. You learn how to be in front of people and speak, how to tell people what you're doing. Then next level, I want to open a shop. I have a lot of barbers that I've trained, encouraged to want to open a shop. When you open a shop, the problem when we went to OG Barber Conference, barber shop owners expect people to show up that can cut hair perfect and have a booked up clientele. That's not realistic. No. That's not. Those people that have that can go get a suite somewhere and not have to pay booth rent. Right, so what you get barbers fresh out of school that need to be trained, that need to learn how to cut hair, that need to learn how to make money, and the only way you know how to do that is if you've done it yourself, and also if you've taught before. It's so much easier if you taught.
And
so
then you become a better barber too. You see barbers in a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's not about and not you're able to pace yourself and become more organized, like you said.
And then also managing people, being around different personalities of people, which same as students. You're not the same way Kobe was. Kobe's not how Darren is. Darren's not like how Hannah is. So like it's just so much that you can get from it to take you to that next level. And especially
that's for all barbers.
Yeah.
I think all barbers should volunteer at a school to just kind of get a different perspective.
I think if you want to go, if managing people is something that you want to do, you should do it. If being a traveling educator is something that you want to do, you should do it. Right. There's a whole lot of reasons why you should do it, but for me personally, like it's helped my career so much, and it's also broken up the monotony because right now, you make money and you glowing up and you doing some fire cuts, but you can still get bored with that. Mm-hmm. Even though you love what you do, it still gets to a point to where you're like, okay, let me do something different. So having that day a week where I can go to school and break it up and do something different, man, just makes it so much more better.
To the point, right? To your point, it just feels like Monday. I know Monday. It's like that's part of my schedule.
Yeah.
The podcast. Everybody knows that. My wife, she's like, you get the podcast at 2:00. I was like, yeah. Everybody knows that. It's part of like the day, and it's something that's so fun for me. If I miss that part, I'm like, if that was to be taken away, I wouldn't know what to do.
I know what you feel.
I'd be upset. I'd be so upset.
I wouldn't know what to do during that block.
And we've been going at it hard for so long. I mean, we've taken a day or two in between, either traveling or just weather or holidays, but we've been so consistent, and my wife knows it's podcast. People know. They ask me, "You going up to?" I
love when people ask me that. Like, man, you got something on the agenda, and it's part of what you're doing, part of the industry for you. I was like, yeah, man. It almost feels like out of this world experience. I can't even explain at times.
For me, it feels like I feel like like I'm ahead of the race. Like most people would take their day off, they chilling. Yeah. Like me, I'm going to add something else of value to what I'm doing
that I love to do.
Exactly, and then the same thing with the school did the same thing for me. But maybe if it's not the school, which you should teach a class or something, maybe or just I don't know. When I get stagnant, I'm looking for something else to do, like actively, or I'm gonna make it happen. So. I don't know, man. You're cooking, so you probably just happy with cooking. But to me,
I'm not. I'm really not.
I can tell you feel like you're ready for the next challenge.
Yeah, I am.
You got to make your first like your last.
It's just where every goal. It's just the same cycle. Yeah. You go through the same cycle.
It makes you hungry.
Right. It does, but it's that getting through that scariness part. You got to go through the little fear, anticipation, or wanting to do it anyways, and then you finally do it, and then you finally,
But you've overcome that before. I know. There's a light in the tunnel.
I know, but it's just like when you do it, it's just I don't know. It's just it's the same feeling every time.
It is, and that's why. Make your first like your last, make your last like your first. When I opened a barber shop, it felt like I became a barber over again. The same insecurities, the same
energy,
the same nervousness. Is this going to work out? Am I making the right decisions? I did it all over again. And guess what? I'm doing it. It's like, what's next?
Right. So one of our listeners out there, he was cutting hair and he sent me that song. And I was like, it was so dope, you know what I mean? Because he came in and he was cutting and the Jay-Z song, it came on. I'm like, man, we got some serious listeners out there, you know what I mean?
They're dedicated.
They're dedicated. He's like, man, make your first. And I was like, and you had to interlude like the beat. And it's like, man, it just took me back. I was like, yo, that was dope.
But and it's so true though, because it's the same thing over and because this is not the end goal. Like there's going to be another thing, like entrepreneurship. Exactly. And it's entrepreneurship, but you're going to go through those same things. Is this right? Is this the right thing to do? Am I making the right decision? Am I going to be good enough? You're going to do that same crap over through your whole life. The next day, you're going to want a family. You're going to want kids. You're going to want this. It's the same thing over and over again, but you've already overcame it once.
A new car.
Yeah.
A new house.
What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
So, hey, we got to, man, this was a dope podcast. What y'all think about the podcast?
I'm happy to listen.
Like you said, we've been cooking, man. It was just like the vibe just been like, we've been rolling and we just moving.
I'm glad we can introduce Jordan to the world. Jordan is great. Everybody that gets on the podcast and speaks to us loves to hear Jordan talk. Right. They're anxious to help Jordan. Jordan is...
Baby.
We're happy to have Jordan here. And Jordan is... I'm glad we got to focus on him. So
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. I think we already did one about myself before. It was like when I first came on, right? At the beginning of the first one, everybody first came on.
But you've accomplished so much since then, dude.
I know. But we really ain't staying. We didn't really talk about what I accomplished, though.
I mean,
But it's about to pass.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's cool though. I ain't really accomplished much.
There you have it.
There you go.
I mean, you about to do.
There you go.
You about to be in this competition coming up at the Tennessee Barber Expo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be there.
Yeah. We're gonna have that Barber College hat for you.
It's a
Success.
1-day event, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have the hat for you while you're performing.
Oh.
and a shirt.
I'll wear it. Yeah, I'll wear it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll make it. I'll get a Carhartt one just for you with the Barber College Success on it.
All right, bet. That's cool. I can rock it.
You be performing.
Put it on the back.
Yeah.
That's what I was
On the
thinking.
back, yeah.
That's what I was thinking with the Carhartt on the front and the Barber College.
Kind of like an antisocial.
Yeah, but we can't. I don't know if we can sell that. I gotta get it with a plug. I gotta get plugged on a wholesaler for them. But I get you one for real.
All right, bet.
What color you want? You gotta let me know. You get the fit together.
Tan. Beige. Beige.
And you
with
got
the
the
black writing on the
exclusive
back. Yeah.
I got you.
Every time.
I got you.
Will look dope on tan, the red, white, and
would.
blue.
Yeah, got it.
I love beige clothes.
I'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. We have the exclusive one.
Hey man, this podcast was dope.
Success. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
tough.
this was dope. What y'all think, man?
We cooking, man.
So Joe, when you found out we was gonna talk about you, what was you thinking? What was going through your mind?
I was excited.
For real?
Yeah.
Ready to talk?
I was excited because I stay quiet a lot, and I'm sorry for the people that I know that listen to me. And I
apologize.
But I mean,
They hear you.
I know they hear me, but I'm sure they want to see, hear me say more and stuff like that. But I'm still learning just like y'all are. So,
But we get the people they want. They get the whole episode.
yeah,
You.
they got, I guess.
That's big.
I guess.
That's big. That's big. Yes, sir. I mean, like all great things, you got to come to an end. You know what I mean? And we've been on there rocking for the past hour and 10 minutes, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, for real, we've been rocking, man. We've been moving. Again, what's your last words, Ammi? What's your last what you want to say?
Man, every new goal in your life is going to feel like the first goal that you set for yourself. So if you mastered the first time, go out and do it the second time.
A good attitude takes you a long way. A great attitude takes you to the next level. Keep your attitude on the up and up because people are watching, and it helps take you places. But it can also detour you from going places too. So keep your attitude where it needs to be.
Well, I'm just going on what I usually say. Live life, have fun, go out and do great things, be yourself. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, just go do you.
Again, shout out to Feed Spot for ranking us the top 25 podcasts in the world. Where we at, Ammi?
You're in the UK, we in
US?
Australia, United States, Madagascar, Ireland,
Australia.
I think it's Australia, right? Australia, Aussie.
Yeah.
Shout out Australia.
Top.
Hit us up. If you're in Australia, I ain't never met nobody in Australia. You need to tell me. Hit us up.
But I mean, Spotify said we large out there.
Yeah, we 57 countries.
Yeah, I mean, we.
Just if you listen to this podcast, please message one of us from whatever country. If it's not America, you can message from. We want American messages out too.
We get that all the time.
Especially if you're from a different country, we want to hear. We want to hear what you got going on.
Yeah,
Speak Spanish, I'll type in Spanish.
Yeah, send it to messages to Crown Cutz Academy, JC or Bristol, or hit us up on our Barber College Success IG. Let us know what you think. Keep the great reviews coming in. We love the reviews, and it keeps us going. It keeps us fresh. It keeps us just want to just keep entertaining, give you guys more information, more and more information. Because I tell you what, I love what I do. I know you. You smile.
I get to where I was screaming sometimes.
I know, man.
I'm about to start screaming at Jordan earlier. I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to start yelling.
That's amazing. We had a great one today, man. Again, shout out and like, subscribe, share, check us out on YouTube as well. We're always continuously new enrollment at the schools in Crown Cutz in Johnson City or Bristol, the first Tuesday of every month. We stacking up. We getting ready to start doing some prison work. So with some inmates, working on some dual enrollment with some high school students. That's some of the big things coming up for us here in the future. Again, prison reform it's dear to me right now, just being able to give guys in prison opportunity. The jail is building me actually a school in the jail where I'll be able to go and teach men and women the skills. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be big for us. Again, Crown Cutz Academy taking off. Let's go. Keep moving. But again, much love to you guys out there. Keep liking, sharing, and let somebody else know if you don't know. check us out. Barber College Success. One love. Peace.